Welcome back. Coming up on February 23rd at the Blue Grotto, a night of comedy, but it's a night of comedy with some fairly serious undertones. Here to talk to us about it, we have Kira Hogg from Ask Wellness and Aaron Batowski, a local comedian and writer with Infernal Productions. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. This fellow's name is Mark Hughes. He doesn't live here, so he's not with us on the show today, but he's coming to Kamloops, and you helped that happen, Aaron. Tell me a little bit about what he does.
Mark Hughes has written and produced by himself a Fringe festival show. It was at the Vancouver Fringe Festival last year, and he's on tour to promote it. He's putting it in the Winnipeg Fringe Festival.
Okay, it's called Tragedy Plus Time Served Equals Comedy. Maybe explain a little bit what that means. So
Mark is a comedian in Vancouver, and there's comedy in the title of the show, but it's not a comedy show. It is a spoken word performance, which basically illustrates his life story, and what a life story Mark has had. He entered the youth penal system at 14 and ended up going to prison for 8 years for robbing a bank. And it's basically his life story of how he, what happened, where did he start from, and how did he end up now clean and sober for 10 years as a comedian.
Right, so drug addiction, substance abuse, downtown east side Vancouver, heroin addiction, cocaine addiction, in and out of prison up until age 27. And now he uses comedy to help contribute back to society and share his message. So it's funny, but there's some serious undertones to this. Kira, I'm sure for you, this is something that piques your interest being in wellness, right?
Yeah, for sure. And of course, my ties to theater and music and the arts. But what I really love about this is that I think the show will speak. I haven't seen the show, but from what I've investigated and from speaking with Aaron, it speaks to perseverance, like to be able to perseverance, to be able to get through all of that that tragedy and trauma of living that life, and then to come through and be able to share a message that is meaningful and that actually can show that growth right through, where the message is positive, where there's a way out, there's an exit strategy, and that you're not just stuck in this revolving door of addiction or problematic substance use. And I find it very poignant, given that we're in the middle of this epidemic with fentanyl and overdoses, and I think this provides a wonderful opportunity for folks that are touched by this epidemic to come and participate in a larger discussion, and for those that have not been touched by this epidemic, that they could come and learn a bit more in a way that isn't quite so judgmental or stigmatic.
Right, and I think that's Mark's, according to what I've read about him, he wants people to be more open about this issue because being closed about it isn't helping anybody. No,
what secrets, isolation leads to fatalities when we're talking about fentanyl or opioid use. So we need to be able to talk about it so we're not isolating the issue.
Can I ask you off the cuff, Kira, in regard to Ask Wellness? I heard a rumor somewhere that the overdose rate for this year so far is less than what we saw at the end of last year. Is there any truth to that in Kamloops?
For the first month of... Well, we'd have to wait until we get some coroner's reports, I think. I think that that's where we get the final fatalities, and those come from the coroners. And so I think that we're just coming into the beginning of February, and those numbers might be released. So I can't really respond to that without having that data from the BC CDC.
Aaron, you would like to see as many people come down to the Blue Grotto on February 23rd and take part in this, get people talking, get people thinking. How can they get tickets?
You can go to kamloopslive.ca. They're on the web there, or directly from the Blue Grotto. And this show is really for everyone.
That's right.
I recommend if you've got children, if you've got preteens, teenagers.
Okay to bring
this is a main show. This is really powerful to see where Mark came from. Mark came from just a regular house in the suburbs where it is, again, it's the secrecy of the neighborhood where we don't talk about this, and it's so easy for kids to slip through the cracks and get affected by this.
So he came from a typical middle-class family and slipped through the cracks.
That's right.
Exactly.
How long has he been clean for now? And how long has he been doing this comedy for?
I believe he's been clean for 10 years now, and he's been a working comedian in Vancouver for the last 3.
Right, and he's traveling around with the show, is that right? He's going to other places, the Kootenays after this, I believe.
Yes, and the Winnipeg Fringe Festival is the big one that I know that
Okay.
he's hitting next.
Okay,
Exciting.
so don't delay in getting tickets. Of course, the Blue Grotto, a great venue, but it doesn't hold thousands of people either.
No.
So there's going to be some powerful messages shared.
And I want to give a props out to the Blues Grotto because they've stepped forward as leaders in the community. They were the first to do naloxone training with their staff in Kamloops, and just setting a precedent for the bar scene, for businesses that are operating into the night where they're providing adult entertainment. There might be that potential of narcotic coming in, and they've just been super supportive of our endeavors to educate and create opportunities for discussion with community.
Fantastic, well said.
And we're hoping to have lots of information available at the event where you can get help. If you want to share your own information, your own story, if you have some way of helping, contact Kira at Ask Wellness, and we can have your information at the show as well.
Fantastic. All right, we've had all this information on the screen as well. There's the phone number for Ask Wellness as well as their website. Thanks to the both of you for being here. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic evening.
Thank you.
All right. Quick break, more Midday when we come back. Stay with us.